After a 13-inning ball game last night, we played day baseball from Fenway Park. It's cloud covered right now for Game 2 of the series between the Orioles and the Red Sox. Hi again, everybody. I'm Don Orsillo, and welcome to Red Sox Baseball. Well, today we get to see Aaron Cook. We saw a little of him during spring training. We wondered what role he would fall into, usually a starter. It works out that he gets a start, as Josh Beckett with a lat problem will miss a start in the rotation. So today is the day for Aaron Cook as he is activated and ready to go. Originally a second-round pick, Cook comes to the Red Sox after spending the first 10 years of his career with the Rockies, the team that drafted him. He pitched in 238 games with Colorado, 206 of them as a starter. His best season as an all-star in 2008. He posted a career-high 16 wins that year and posted a 3.96 ERA. This season, Cook has made 5 starts for Pawtucket, 3-0 with a 1.89 earned run average. Jerry Remy's still under weather, so Hall of Famer Peter Gammon steps in again today. And Peter, the Red Sox, this has always been a great place for them to play, but so far this season at home, they're just 4-8.
Well, they are. They've lost 8 out of 9. It's amazing. Since the 1st of September last year, they're 8-18. And one of the things a lot of Orioles players have talked about it, players from other teams, where is the intimidation factor that the Red Sox used to have at home? I mean, they're 0-3 in 1- and 2-run games in this ballpark. And I realize the injuries have something to do with it. I realize that pitching, because their starters have an ERA over 5 since the 1st of September last year, that's part of it. But this ballpark has always been a little bit of an intimidation factor. But consider this. Over the last 5 seasons, beginning with 2008, the best home record in baseball belongs to the Tampa Bay Rays. And thinking about the Rays, since the 1st of September last year, they're 17 games better than the Red Sox in the one-loss standings.
Well, the Red Sox will try to get back on track here today at Fenway Park. Somebody who's back on track is Adrian Gonzalez after his slump last night, a 3-hit performance. Trying to keep it going today in Game 2 of the series. We're back with more right after this. Picking up his 8th save of the season with a 1-2-3 inning as the Orioles took Game 1 in 13 innings. Welcome back inside the broadcast booth. I'm Don Orsillo. Well, the Baltimore Orioles are definitely better this season. They come in now at 17-9 with a victory last night. What's different about the O's? Their pitching, and especially the bullpen. They have been terrific so far, as the Red Sox found out last night. Baltimore's bullpen showed out why they are the best in the American League so far this season. 8 innings of scoreless baseball lowered their team ERA to 1.56. Over the final 8 innings last night, Orioles relievers allowed only 3 hits. Overall opponents are hitting at .201, which is second in the AL. They also lead in saves, wins, and home runs allowed. 5 Orioles relievers, Johnson, Lindstrom, Ayala, O'Day, and Strop, all have ERAs below 2. 3 of them have ERAs of 0. They have been impressive. The starting pitching has been good, too. Jason Hamill will try to keep it going for the O's. 3-1 with a 1.97 ERA. Game 2 is next. Official website for deals by Toyota.com, Dunkin' Donuts, and by Southwest Airlines. Well, good afternoon once again, and welcome back to Fenway Park. It's the middle game of the three-game series between the Red Sox and the Baltimore Orioles.
Okay.
Cloud covered here at the moment at Fenway Park, as so far kind of some ominous clouds above. Lights are on here for day baseball and able to dodge the raindrops last night, and hopefully more of the same today as the Red Sox and Orioles continue their series. And Peter, today we get our first look at Aaron Cook. It'll be interesting to watch him today as he makes his Red Sox debut.
Well, he and Bob McClure go back a long way, all the way back to A-Ball and the Rockies organization. Now, Bob's always really liked him. Very aggressive sinker. He used to throw a lot harder than he does now. Had more of a curveball, but they know what they're going to get. He's going to throw the ball over the plate, and I think that's really important. Just sort of set the tempo of the game, which has been lacking a little bit.
The Red Sox had a late night here last night, a 13-inning ball game that they lost 6-4. We highlighted the Orioles bullpen and how improved they are, and playing very well so far in the season. They are 17-9 coming in. They're game and a half back of the Tampa Bay Rays to start the day. The Rays are 19-8, and the Red Sox so far 11-14, 7 games back of the Tampa Bay Rays. So the Red Sox here today, and their bullpen getting settled in as the relievers head out to the pen. The Red Sox take the field here from Fenway. As they do, let's check out the visiting Orioles starting lineup. It's brought to you by Jordan's Furniture. Andy Chavez will lead it off. He is in left field with J.J. Hardy at shortstop batting second. Nick Markakis in right field bats third. Adam Jones is the center fielder and cleanup hitter for the O's. Matt Wieters does the catching with Chris Davis back at first base. Wilson Betemet is the DH. He bats seventh with Mark Reynolds at third base batting eighth. And Robert Andino is at second base. He bats ninth. Our first look in a Red Sox uniform at Aaron Cook today. We saw him a few times during spring training. But Cook getting his first start here with the Red Sox. His numbers from Pawtucket in 5 starts, 3-0 with a 1.89 earned run average. He logged 33 and a third innings, 11 walks to 13 Ks, and opponents hit at .217 against Cook. Spending his entire career with the Colorado Rockies, 72 and 68, a 4.53 earned run average, and the opponent's hitting at .294 against him in 10 seasons in the majors.
Red Sox defense is brought to you by Southwest Airlines. Third base, well, actually, it's Nick Punto today. And Aviles at short, Dustin Pedroia at second, and Gonzalez at first. Outfield, Ross, Bird, and Sweeney. Jared Saltalamacchia behind the plate, and Cook pitching.
Red Sox second in the American League in defense. Here's the umpiring crew. It is Mike Estabrook in behind the plate calling the balls and strikes. James Hoy at first base. Jim Joyce at second base. And Jim Reynolds, the umpire, at third. Where available, this telecast can be heard in Spanish by selecting the SAP button on your television remote. Enjoy the game. It is cloud covered Fenway Park right now, 54 degrees. And the breeze in from left field at 5 miles per hour. Forecast is for more of the same as the Red Sox and Orioles ready to go here in game 2. Andy Chavez, who came into the game last night late in the game, leads off and in the starting lineup today, hitting at 128 as he takes a look at strike one. Aaron Cook, good ground ball pitcher. You know he's on if he can get a lot of ground ball outs. And this one is on the ground to short. Aviles is there, and there's one down. Peter, you mentioned Middlebrooks out of the lineup, kind of a late change to have Nick Punto in there at third base. What's the status, as you know it, of Will Middlebrooks?
Well, pulled hamstring. It's not supposed to be serious. It's precautionary, but you always worry about that in the cold weather. So, but it's a disappointment because they really want to take a good look at Middlebrooks and give him every opportunity to establish himself.
2 major league games under his belt. Of course, made his major league debut on Wednesday night and then last night. But out of the lineup today, was in the original starting lineup as J.J. Hardy bats and hits one on the ground. It is Aviles, a deep short. His throw, plenty of time, 2 down.
Well, that's the way they want Aaron Cook to start out. I mean, throwing strikes, there he jammed Hardy. He's gotten 2 ground balls. That's what they want, and that's a very quick type of game. I mean, they like to establish some tempo, which, again, has been something of a problem for them.
2 down here in the first inning for Nick Markakis at 2:45, 3 homers, and 10 runs batted in. And Markakis takes strike 1. He's been on the opening day roster for the O's now for 7 straight seasons. A lot of doubles for Markakis at 30 or more in each of the past 5 years.
I've always thought he'd be a terrific player in this ballpark. He's a very good defender. He can really throw. Matter of fact, when he was in junior college, he led the country in wins and home runs in both categories. But he uses the other field very well. One of those things. The Red Sox really loved him in the draft and lost out on him. And he's been a good player for the Orioles. I've always thought there's another level that he can get to. And I think maybe big crowds would really help him.
Swings at the 3-1. Aviles has a chance for 3 assists in the inning. And he's got all 3. It's a 1-2-3 first inning and a nice start for Aaron Cook. Red Sox are coming up. Starting lineup. Red Sox starting lineup is brought to you by New England Chevy dealers. Nick Punto leads it off for the Red Sox in a late change. Dustin Pedroia at second base, bats second. David Ortiz at DH. Adrian Gonzalez at first base with Mike Aviles at shortstop. It is Ryan Sweeney who is in right field. Cody Ross in left. Jared Saltalamacchia does the catching. He bats 8th. And Marlon Byrd in center field bats 9th. On the mound today for the O's is Jason Hamill's 6th start, and it's gone well. He's 3-1 with a nifty 1.97 earned run average. Opponents hitting at 200 against him, 30 Ks to 10 walks on the year. And he did lose last time out to the Yankees, but pitched well. 6 innings, giving up 2 runs. He walked 2 and struck out 5. So it is Nick Punto who leads it off, and a late lineup change. And Peter, in the original lineup, Ryan Sweeney was going to lead off here today for the Red Sox. So we have seen every possible combination of this lineup all year.
Now he's going to have Sweeney lead off and then have Middlebrooks hitting in the second hole. But, of course, the one time Punto led off was that Sunday in Detroit, and he had the 3 hits. So
Bobby Valentine hoping for the same, although it was a late adjustment. As Peter mentioned, Middlebrooks out of the lineup with a hamstring issue. There's the pitch in there for a strike.
Hamill was part of one of Dan Duquette's first deals for the Orioles, and he traded Jeremy Guthrie to Colorado for Hamill and Matt Lindstrom, who's been terrific in their bullpen. It's turned out to be an extremely beneficial trade thus far.
I guess if you're an Orioles fan, at first you kind of wondered how it was going to work out, just because Guthrie, the best pitcher at times for the Orioles over the years.
Yeah, but I think that they knew they weren't going to sign him long term, so go ahead and make the move. And unfortunately, Guthrie went and got hurt riding his bike, which is different. Sounds like something Bill Lee once did in Montreal. But they're just trying to make gradual changes around the core, which is really pretty good in Baltimore, and their starting pitching has been very good. They have the best record they're 17-9. They're right third in the division in ERA, which is good because Tampa's first and Toronto's second in the league. And their differential is third in baseball.
Well, I'm impressed with their starting pitching, but I'm even more impressed by their bullpen based on what I saw last night.
Boy, there's some great arms.
2-2 is sliced foul, out of play. And they just kept bringing them out one after another. Remember a few years ago, they spent $42 million on their bullpen, revamping it, and brought in all these guys, and they never really panned out. Ended up being kind of a disaster. This year they revamp, and this bullpen is outstanding.
Absolutely.
A foul tip, and it is going to be a foul ball. Indication by Estabrook. At first, it looked like he was going to say strike 3. And coming down, Buck Showalter talking to Jim Reynolds, third base umpire. It's only going to be strike 2 anyway, as the count was 2-1 at the time. So 2-2 now. Punto foul tips into the catcher's mitt, strike 3. Hamill strikes out first batter he faces today. So far for Hamill. Good movement on that fastball, 94 miles an hour, tailing away that time, and foul tip for strike 3. Here's Dustin Pedroia. Just under 300, hitting at 299. 3 homers and 9 runs batted in. That's a strike over the outside corner, and it's 1-1. Temperature gauge on Dustin Pedroia. Remember, you started 72 degrees. He's at 83 degrees over the last 5 games, 7 for 23. Soft ground ball down third baseline. Reynolds will just pick it up. Pedroia's got an infield hit. Nothing he could do with it. No doubt it was going to stay fair, so he just picks it up, and Pedroia racing down to first, got himself a base hit.
Dustin's making adjustments to the fact that his importance in this lineup is far greater. It's not just hitting second behind Jacoby Ellsbury now. He's being pitched very carefully, away a lot of off-speed pitches, and he's made adjustments to it. He's hardly slumped. It's just that he hasn't been able to get hot and been, doing his laser show into the monster seats.
He extends his hitting streak to 6 games. Here's our key matchup, brought to you by New England Honda dealers. How about David Ortiz, 6 for 10 with a home run against Hamill in the past. He'll chop this foul into the Red Sox dugout. David frustrated in last night's game. He did have an RBI, but was 0 for 5 in the game last night. It's at 371 with 6 homers and 22 runs batted in. Ortiz batting third in this new-look Red Sox lineup. Adrian Gonzalez waiting on deck. Red Sox batting in the first. Nine career games, 3 starts for Hamill against Boston. He's 0-2, 1 save and 6.14 ERA. He's given up 15 earned runs in 22 innings pitched against the Red Sox, and in 3 starts, 0-2 with a 7.43 earned run average. That's outside.
I think what you find, the way they have to pitch, but if they're going to keep shifting Ortiz, they have to pitch him inside as much as possible, because the thing that David's done so well this year is just say, good, I'll take the hits, so we'll line the ball down. I mean, if he hits the ball down the left field line into the corner, he could score Pedroia from first base.
Sends it foul off to the left. The defense for the Orioles, Mark Reynolds will be at third base, Hardy at short, Andino at second, Davis at first around the infield. In the outfield, it's Chavez, Jones, and Markakis, with Wieters doing the catching. Jason Hamill saw Ronnie Paulino do the catching last night for the O's. 1 out, 1 on. And Ortiz with a big swing and a miss. David strikes out. Second strikeout for Hamill. 2 down in the first inning.
I think he was thinking the same thing we were thinking. He was looking in, and Hamill went away.
So 2 down. And Pedroia at first base for Adrian Gonzalez. Adrian at 265. Had a nice night last night, coming out of brief slump with 3 hits in the game last night. 3 for 6 effort. Snapped an 0 for 18 drought. Wieters was set up away. That ends up down and in. Mislocation for Hamill, and that one almost got by Wieters. And ways he really improved over the last 2 seasons.
He's really good. In my mind, he's right at that point where you can say he might be the best catcher in baseball. He leads all catchers in home runs. He's just tremendous in terms of handling pitchers. He works tirelessly. He's almost like his fellow Georgia Tech soulmate, Jason Varitek, in the way he works and prepares off video and prepares game plans. But I think it's very smart the way Buck Showalter now wants to make sure that he can DH 1 or 2 times a week so he doesn't wear down behind the plate.
Beck and I were talking about catchers in the American League, trying to compare him to who might be as good or who would end up maybe in the same sentence. And this is sent foul off to the left. The only name we really came up with was Alex Avila in Detroit, who has been very good, but still far and away better here in Wieters.
Yeah, I'll never understand why Alex Avila
is now
gave in.
Alex Avila.
Well, he's not really. He just said he said local broadcasters kept screwing it up, because I've known his grandfather, his father. You know, there've been 3 incredible generations of baseball. It's just kind of funny. But I agree. I think he's the one comparable, unless you want to put Mike Napoli there because of his bat.
He's playing a lot of first base these days, though, too.
Yes. Killing left-handed pitching wherever he plays.
On deck is Mike Aviles, and I kind of wonder why Mike was dropped down to where he is.
I think just a different look.
2-1, line to left, and that'll get through into the gap, track and the wall. Pedroia heads for third base. It is a double for Adrian Gonzalez, and the Red Sox have something going with 2 down, and Adrian is back on track again.
Driving the ball the other way. One of the most interesting statistics that I came across from Elias this morning was that last year he, against fastballs, he hit 396, best in baseball. Thus far this year, 246, which tells me it's all about timing. He just hasn't quite had his timing down. And when you see him hit the ball so hard to get by Andy Chavez so fast, you say, okay, there's a fastball away. He really ripped it, and then maybe that's the start of something.
Good chance here for Mike Aviles with runners at second and third as he takes a look at strike 1. Aviles, who had been leading off every day in the absence of Jacoby Ellsbury since Ellsbury went down in the series against the Tampa Bay Rays. A breaking ball that will miss, and it's a ball and a strike. Well, the right guy up here, runners in scoring position. Pedroia at third, Gonzalez at second. Aviles snubs it foul and is down in the count 1-2. We play day baseball here today. Everything else in the American League is tonight, and that includes the Yankees in Kansas City continuing their series. Tampa Bay Rays are on the West Coast, taking on the Oakland A's later on tonight. 1-2 is just off the outside edge, and
it's amazing to look at the standings and see the Red Sox and Yankees down at the bottom of the division. The last time that they were in last and second to last was 1992.
I keep giving Yankees updates. It's just habit. I don't know what it is. This is chopped up the middle. And Dino, off-balance throw. It's there in time to retire Aviles. The Red Sox strand 2 in scoring position. We're done with 1. No score from Fenway. Right here on Nesson and on 93.7. Can we be part of the Dontourage? Absolutely. There are very few requirements. If you want to be, you are. It's just that simple. Because there's so few. Although Jerry brought up a very good point. Jerry said that if you have an entourage, most of the people are paid. So the Dontourage is going to be very small because I don't want to pay all of them. I didn't know that before I started the Dontourage. As we head to the second inning, Adam Jones leads it off here in the inning. Jones, Wieters, and Davis.
I mean, you don't think all those guys that are in LeBron James's entourage are just friends of his that love being in, maybe get a free Snickers or something?
Well, see, I didn't know that. You know, I just thought, you know, maybe they're friends from, I don't know, high school. And they like to be around him. I don't know. 1-1 is ball 2. I mean, I've never considered any kind of entourage. 2-1 to Jones. He is in the air to center. Bird going back, tracking it. It'll take him to the track, but he's there. And he makes the catch for the first out of the second inning. And Bird appreciative of the effort, or Cook rather appreciative of the effort of Bird out there in center field. As Cook's retired the first 4. I gotta like his pace so far. He's getting it and throwing it.
Absolutely. That's something that Bob McClure's talked to pitchers about, and I think it's something they really would like to see. Pound the strike zone. Stop worrying about avoiding contact.
To me, I never understood why guys will not work in that fashion. I mean, it just seems like the defense behind you is better because they're not standing around.
Absolutely. Louis Ayala got people out last night, but I think there should be a rule in baseball.
Oh.
Louis Ayala is not allowed to pitch in a night game if the next day game is a day game.
The Orioles had another guy, the former Chicago Cubs, Steve Traxel, who was as slow gets.
He was a rain delay.
Yes. 2-1 pitch. Grounded to first. Gonzalez had taken himself to the bag. 2 down in the inning as we check in with Jenny Dell.
Don, it's been a long time since Aaron Cook had that feeling of being called up to the majors, the last time being in 2003 for the Colorado Rockies. Cook reflected back on that all-familiar feeling.
I can remember back to the first time I got called up, and getting the call this time was just as exciting, being with a new team, and spending the first month in AAA and really just working towards the same goal, is getting back here and trying to be successful. And when you get the phone call, there's nothing like it.
Cook was 72 and 68 in 10 seasons with the Rockies and said he's glad he made the decision to come to Boston. He said it really paid off being patient, and I definitely made the right choice. Cook had the right to opt out of his minor league contract on Tuesday, but Don, he said, this is where I wanted to be the whole time.
This is to left field, struck well. It's up over the head of Ross, quickly handled by Ross. He gets it back in so quickly that Chris Davis has got just a single with 2 outs.
I think one of the things when watching Aaron Cook, because it is very different from the last 3 years in Colorado when he was hurt a lot, is that the one thing over his whole career, he's had problems with left-handed hitters. And hit over 300, OPS of about 850. And I think it was Davis launched that ball down and drove it off the wall. But, the first 3 left-handed hitters he jammed and got very weak ground balls on. So that was to me, it's a good sign of how much life is back in his sinker.
Wilson Betterman taking strike 1. DH for the Orioles today, hitting at 246. We talked about Cook's career in 2008. Jumps out at you. 16 and 9 that year in 32 starts, a 3.96 ERA. He's an all-star. This one is fouled off at the plate. 0-2. Here's what's coming up today. We'll get a Josh Beckett update. Of course, this is Beckett's start day that has been replaced by Cook as he has missed a turn in the rotation with the lat problem. We will tell you about a new exhibit in Cooperstown, and we'll get you a Phillies Nationals update.
It's so crazy with the Nationals. All of a sudden, they're the hit of Washington. I got a tweet from Majority Leader Harry Reid mentioning how excited he was to meet Bryce Harper.
This
what?
Is out to right center field for a base hit for Betterman. And to third base goes Davis, as all of a sudden now the Orioles have something going with 2 down against Aaron Cook. This has happened quickly for the O's as we work towards the bottom of the lineup. They slider that just kind of hung. So first and third, 2 down, and Reynolds coming up. You feel a different kind of confidence around this ball club that we've not felt for a while around this Orioles team. I know they're having a good start, but you just get the feel like they may continue this for a while.
I agree. I don't know if, you have a 173 bullpen ERA. You don't know if you can keep that going. But we saw with people like Strope in the middle that they've got good arms. Johnson can close. But there's now Markakis and Wieters and Matt Jones have been around a while now.
This will get away from Saltalamacchia. Throw to the plate is not in time. Gets away, and the Orioles jump on top 1-0. Coming in knees first was Aaron Cook trying to block the plate. And he can't catch the baseball. It is a pass ball that is charged to Saltalamacchia. And just under the glove of Jared.
Pitched it with a sinker ball. He kind of figured he's going to block that ball, especially with a run around third.
And Cook is hurt. You mentioned that he went in knees first. And coming in hard from third base was Davis. See if he gets spiked.
Back spike might have gotten him.
Yep. They are looking at the leg, and apparently he is bleeding, so it had to be the spikes coming in of Chris Davis. Oh, yeah.
Ugh.
That is not looking good at all. I'm not a doctor, Peter, but I'm going to say that's going to require stitches.
I would think so.
And he will come off.
Yeah, that's a shame for Aaron Cook.
He's coming off here. Jim Joyce is walking along. Maybe, I was going to say, maybe they're going to let him patch this up and fix it before they bring in somebody else. But here comes Mortensen, so maybe not. Just the way that he walked with him was almost like maybe we can patch this up and he can continue to pitch. And Jim Joyce is going to give him that opportunity as Valentine talks to Joyce, but now they are calling Mortensen over to the dugout. So maybe that's what they're doing here, Peter.
Maybe there's some way to freeze it and then stitch it up between innings.
I'm just thinking that they patch it up.
Maybe I've been watching too many hockey games. I don't.
Exactly. Maybe, glue it up or something. Now Mortensen is not going to go to the mound. He's going to go to the dugout. So Jim Joyce is going to give him the opportunity to see if they can get this fixed here and let him continue. I'm not sure I've seen this before either.
One thing that I could say that one thing about Aaron Cook's reputation in Colorado, very tough guy. I mean, a little mean at times on the mound, but very tough, and that's his reputation. And talking to Bob McClure, that was the way he was in A-ball, even before he really got that sinker going. So,
if he comes back out here, I'm going to be very impressed with how tough he is. And then another look at the injury is coming into home plate. Davis with the spikes, and it looks like it's the back spike that got that left leg.
Yep.
So we will. You don't want to see it turn away, but the injury to Cook that they are trying to patch up right now and fix on his leg. And he went to check it out. There it is. And definitely a gash. He's coming back out. Yeah, a couple of warm-up tosses here. I'll give Jim Joyce, the umpiring crew, some credit here, giving him the opportunity to do this.
Well, Jim Joyce, with all that flap over the Galarraga perfect game and missed call at first base, the research, he was the second highest rated umpire in baseball at the time.
I believe it. And you got to credit the way he handled that entire situation. It was unbelievable.
And I thought it was great the way the Tigers handled it with having Galarraga bring the lineup slip out the next day. I mean, Eck and I were actually in the studio, and I thought it was it seemed very cut and dry, but there was something funny, and you could see that he was juggling the ball so that Joyce couldn't hear the sound and look at the foot tied the bag. So part of what makes an umpire's call on a play like that was eliminated from Joyce. It was a much more complicated call, much more difficult than just, he missed the call, because, again, the ball was rolling up his sleeve.
And for the umpires, which I really didn't understand at the time until all that came up and was dissected over and over again, for the umpires, the sound is a very big deal.
Huge part of the deal, because you can't look two places at the same time. In fact, we talked about that night. I said, I think this is a very difficult call. Boy, this is something for Cook to.
Oh, here he is. Wow.
Think he's glad to be back?
Aaron Cook is not going to leave this game easily. He's waited too long to return. Bedeman is at second base with two down. This is Mark Reynolds, and he takes strike one. Pass ball gets a run in for the Orioles. Gets Cook patched up for now after he gets Gooden spiked. And he went in trying to block Chris Davis from the plate. Couldn't do it. And a big gash in the meantime. 1-1. Reynolds will chop it towards third. Punto on the run. And in time to conclude the top of the second inning.
From the bloody sock to the bloody calf.
1-0 Orioles. Television Network. Tradition, history, and a commitment to everyone on our team. These are just a few of the things Eastern Bank is made of. Find out more at easternbank.com. The Orioles on top 1-0 as we head to the bottom of the second inning. And it's Ryan Sweeney, Cody Ross, and Jared Saltalamacchia to bat here in the second. 26-pitch first inning for Jason Hamill. Had 2 strikeouts, got out of a second and third jam, and now has a lead. Sweeney starting the year hitting at .360. He's not faced lefties for the most part. Anytime a lefty started, Sweeney has sort of found himself on the bench, and what was supposed to be part of a platoon in right field. Part of the change there, of course, with the injury to Ellsbury and Crawford beginning the year in the DL, the outfield landscape much different for the Red Sox than was anticipated.
Well, when the Red Sox made that deal, of course, obviously Bailey was the key figure. But they were looking for someone who was a good defender in right field, who could get some on base. They projected him to hit down near the bottom of the order where you want that on base before the lineup starts spinning over, but it just turned out he's had to move around. But also, they always thought he was a left center field hitter that for whom this park would be natural, and just look at his doubles.
Swing and a miss, fastball up and away. He chases, third strikeout for Hamill. And there's one away here in the second inning.
He's been like 93, 94 from the beginning. Better than I remember him in Tampa. His fastball's been live, and he's gotten a little life. That ball had a pretty good run up and out of the strike zone.
One out in the second inning as Cody Ross, .267 hitter, 5 homers, 19 runs batted in.
I still can't believe that play J.J. Hardy made off him last night.
Unbelievable. Just to make the front end of that play was impressive enough, but to turn it into 2 was even more remarkable.
Hardy said he passed out after it.
0-1 is fouled off to the right. 0-2 is a look at that play last night, Peter. Crucial play in the game. I can't believe what he got on the throw from one knee.
Tremendous. He's one of those guys, and I know that Buck Showalter will tell you, you see him play every day. Is he spectacular? He doesn't make spectacular plays all the time, but he makes every necessary play. He hit 30 home runs. He's just a really good player. I could never understand how off one bad year, how the Brewers could have traded him. I thought it was a terrible mistake.
1-2 is a swing and a miss and by him at 95 miles an hour. That is 4 strikeouts for Hamill. Back-to-back Ks here in the second inning. Just a fastball with a downward plane, and Ross can't catch up. So 2 down, and it brings up Jared Saltalamacchia. And it was great to visit with former Red Sox general manager Dan Duquette, who came into the booth just before we went on the air, and good to spend time with Dan again. And so happy for him that he is back in the game once again after an 8-year absence, and he appears to be enjoying himself this time around.
He loves baseball, and this is the happiest I've seen him in a long time. It's, he's had a couple of trades go very well. The team is playing well, but he just loves being around it again.
There's Dan, who was coming home and getting a chance to see friends and family in this weekend series for the first time. Of course, he'll be in 3 times during the regular season. No 2 pitches outside. He did interview in Anaheim prior to getting the Orioles job, and it appeared that he was close to returning once again. His name was in the mix for the first time in a long time. And as I mentioned last night, I truly feel this way. He really did not get enough credit really for the guys that he had put on the 2004 World Championship Red Sox.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, you and Eck talked about Pedro Martinez. I mean,
yes. Swing and a miss, and that'll briefly get away from Wieters. Clears the runner, and striking out the side in impressive fashion is Jason Hamill. He's got 5 Ks through 2 and a 1-0 lead. The month of May is packed with some great matchups. Tomorrow, come watch your Red Sox take on the Baltimore Orioles. The action at Fenway continues Thursday, May 10th. Red Sox battle the Cleveland Indians in a 4-game series, followed by a 2-game set with Seattle Mariners May 14th and 15th. Get your tickets now for these great matchups at redsox.com/tickets. Well, it is Aaron Cook back out for the 3rd inning, and Robert Andino leads it off and lines one to left right at Ross. Makes the catch on the hooking liner for the first out of the 3rd inning. So one up, one down on one pitch for Cook. So I'm going to throw a scenario at you, Peter. If everything goes well today and you get these 20 games in 20 days, does Cook get another start beyond today?
I think a lot depends on what they decide to do. I mean, a lot depends on Beckett's back. They might want to let someone take a side session instead of a start. If Clay Buchholz were to struggle again, maybe he just needs to skip a start, go work in the bullpen, a side session. I think there's a lot of flexibility here.
Bunt bid for Chavez. Cook is going to just pick it up, and it's a base hit, infield hit for Chavez on the bunt. Single. Dropping it down. Is that a guy taking advantage of a pitcher who's got a hurt leg, or just trying to get on?
Probably a combination of both. And he's favorite of Bobby Valentine, one of the great catches in playoff history.
So a bunt single for Chavez.
A catch that I don't think Buck Showalter wants to watch again.
J.J. Hardy takes a pitch inside, ball one. Chavez with good speed at first base. As he is held on over there by Adrian Gonzalez. Hardy bounced to short. First time up, he's 0 for 1. This will bounce off Saltalamacchia, and Chavez into second base. And Saltalamacchia's had a little trouble catching Aaron Cook here. A couple of pass balls. This one he knocks down and kicks up the third base line. This will most likely be a wild pitch. And it is a wild pitch.
Just could not keep it in front of him on blocking it.
Three and 0. Cook wanted that. Hardy taken all the way, and he takes strike one. He thought he had ball 4. And we talked about Hardy's defense. Great play last night. He led all shortstops with a .990 fielding percentage. Now at the plate so far, hitting at just .194 coming into today's game. 3-1 is going to be ball 4. And down to first base with the first walk goes J.J. Hardy. Visit www.mlb.com/fanguide to register for a chance to win a VIP experience for 2 to a 2012 Major League Baseball World Series game. And download your favorite team schedule presented by Scott's, the official lawn care company of Major League Baseball. 2 on, 1 out. And here's Nick Markakis. Grounded out to shortstop in the first inning. So far, 5 ground ball outs for Aaron Cook through 2 1/3 innings. Runners go, and the throw is going to go to third base, and out at third base is Chavez. Double steal attempt, and Saltalamacchia guns down the lead runner at third, and Chavez for out number 2.
And it really helps when your pitcher is quick to the plate, which Cook was.
Markakis with the count of 1-0. Runner at second base, 2 down.
Important now with 2 of the next 3 hitters being Markakis and Wieters, who are good low ball left-handed hitters.
And a miss, falling behind again here, 3-0. Second straight batter that he's fallen behind 3-0. Chavez thrown out at third base trying to steal. Hardy taking second on the throw. No stolen base for Hardy. Double steal attempt. That's a strike, and it's 3-1. Bob Valentine was asked before the game what kind of pitch count Cook was on, and so he hasn't thrown over 100 at any point in Pawtucket. He's been in the 90s. So I'd expect him perhaps to get up to 100 today. To center field, and that's in for a base hit. J.J. Hardy's coming around from second. Throw goes to second. It's cut off, and the Orioles take a 2-0 lead. Big 2-out RBI for Nick Markakis that puts Baltimore on top 2-0.
Surprised me to an extent that he would come in 3-1, just because you've got the right-handed hitter on deck. That the attempted stolen base had opened up first base. But he decided to go ahead and challenge him and paid the price.
So Markakis at first, 2 down. A run in here for the O's, and here's Adam Jones. Flied out to the warning track in center field. He slipped under 300. Started the day at 301, down to 298 at the moment. He hit one to the warning track in center field. Marlon Byrd backed up and made the catch on. This Orioles start, we mentioned they're 17-9, and Orioles fans have to be happy with the beginning. Peter, it's been so sad to see what's happened there in Baltimore from a attendance standpoint. Such a great baseball town.
It is, and if they ever get resurrected, and I don't think there's a 105 win team in the American League East. So if the Orioles can stay in it through June and people start going to Boog's barbecue in July and so forth, I mean, maybe they can rekindle this. I'd love to see the whole Baltimore-Washington thing go to have a little Beltway war. Maybe meet like 4 times in the league just to get the rivalry going. But it would, because it's a great city, but it's all, the fans have been great, and Camden Yards changed all of sports.
Jones will tap and foul. You just saw Buck Showalter, and to his left is Brian Robertson. You think about how good this team could be if he was at the top of their lineup every day and playing second base again. It's been such a tough story for him with the concussion, and boy, it's been a long time since he's played.
It has been. He worked really hard yesterday. I saw him hitting and playing second base, doing base running drills. I think it's still a ways away, but he's doing everything he can do to make a comeback.
Fouled off to the right, not a play.
Really, really good player. Highly intelligent player.
A doubles machine.
Absolutely. Great base stealer. His father, Mike, who manages in the Cape during the summer, is considered by many, including Frank Wren and Carl Crawford, the best base running instructor in the game.
Another check on Markakis. Dives back safely. Still 0-2 here to Adam Jones. In the air to deep left field. That ball is crushed Up and over everything in left field. Out of the yard for Adam Jones, his 7th home run of the year. And the Orioles jump out to a 4-0 advantage just like that. All the runs coming with 2 outs here in the 3rd inning.
Well, they got a hanger and took advantage of it. What we won't know for a while is how much the collision affected him. But that pitch just spun.
Full extension for Adam Jones. His 7th home run of the year already. Now a liner out towards the gap in right center field. This will get down to the track in the wall for Matt Wieters, who heads into second base with a double. Saw Clayton Mortensen warming up earlier, and he was going to come into this game, and they may get him back up here in a hurry as Bob McClure makes his way to the mound. And it is Mortensen who is first with the jacket off.
Well, neither of those pitches had the kind of zip that he had in the 1st inning before he got hurt. And so, until we know differently, it seems very clear that there was a cause and effect.
Look at the last 2 pitches. The first to Adam Jones, as you mentioned, a real hanger. And that one crushed to left field for a 2-run home run. And then this pitch to Wieters.
Yeah, that was way up in the strike zone, too.
And that is not where Aaron Cook lives when he is right. So 7th member of the Orioles to bat here in the top half of the 3rd inning. Chris Davis coming up. He's singled and scored in the 2nd inning. Tried to hold up, but changed his mind in the middle, and it's strike 1. Last 9 games hitting at a .387 clip.
Davis has always been big, always reminded me of Russell Brandon, big swing and miss. But his swing and miss percentage has gone down by about 40% since last year. So maybe he's learned a few things.
Traded at the trade deadline last year from the Texas Rangers. Tommy Hunter, with Tommy Hunter, I should say, in exchange for Koji Uehara. And the Rangers bullpen in the postseason last year. 1-1 is to left, and that's in for a base hit. Wieters will be stopped at third. He has no speed, so no chance to score. But a base hit opposite field for Davis, and the hits just keep coming here for the Orioles. Just went with it.
Which is something he didn't do well in Texas. Remember, he had that tremendous power display when he first came up to the Rangers. Hit tape measure home runs, but got very pull happy. Of course, that Texas ballpark favors anybody that drives the ball to right field. But that was a nice piece of hitting. Even if it was up a little bit, it's okay. He drove the ball down the other time and hit the wall.
First and third. All of this production coming with 2 outs in the inning, and Wilson Betterman getting his second look at Aaron Cook. He's singled center field in the 2nd inning. Wind has picked up, blowing from right to left across the outfield right now. On the ground through the hole on the right side, a base hit, and from third comes Wieters. The Orioles jump out to a 5-0 lead, and here comes Bobby Valentine. That'll be the day for Aaron Cook. As the Orioles take a 5-0 lead, the pitching change from Fenway Park. Leaving the game is Aaron Cook, and there's no doubt, Peter, after watching him walk off, that leg is a big issue as he really gingerly got down the steps and now just being surrounded by the training staff.
Absolutely. And the bunt, he couldn't really make a play on that when Andy Chavez laid down the bunt.
This was the injury, trying to cover the plate, actually block it from Chris Davis coming in, and he got spiked badly, gash in his leg, and pitched with it. To his credit, they wrapped it up as best they could. It's not pretty to look at, and we'll definitely have work on it now that his day is over. Well, the end of the game is Clayton Mortensen, our second look at him this season, as he joined the team just a couple of days ago. Made his first appearance on Wednesday, 3 innings and had 6 strikeouts. Very impressive. His changeup was the most impressive, as he used it the bulk of the time, and Oakland A's just could not figure him out.
No, he's got that circle change, and he says that he's had that. He picked it up as soon as he got into pro ball, and that's been his bread and butter. So, very funny. He's a little bit funky. Another ex-Rocky. This is ex-Rocky day here.
It's called to the bullpen, brought to you by New England Ford dealers. His second appearance. Look at his first appearance. I mentioned the 6 Ks in 3 innings, 47 pitches for him. Takes over for Cook, who gives the Red Sox 2 2/3 today. Runners at first and second. Mark Reynolds looks at ball 1. So it's been an 8-hit, 5-run attack so far for the Orioles. Walk and no strikeouts for Cook in his 2 2/3 innings. Reynolds goes around. Reynolds with 2 hits in the ballgame last night, including his first home run of the year. Tied the game 1-1 at the time. Fooled again, and it's 1-2. Slider that time from Mortensen that fooled him.
Reynolds is dangerous, but with that little leg kick of his, the timing mechanism can be very difficult. It can really get out of whack.
Leading to a lot of strikeouts, as this one has popped up foul. And racing over Saltalamacchia, but no play. Hitting the road, take the Red Sox with you this season. Subscribe to MLB.tv today to see every Red Sox out-of-market game live online on your favorite devices in HD quality. Visit RedSox.com to order and get more details. MLB.tv, baseball everywhere. Reynolds, the 9th member of the Orioles to bat here in the 3rd inning. Two is low, and it's 2-2. It's been a 22-minute wait already for Jason Hamill, who has really pitched very well so far. Through the first 2, he's got 5 strikeouts. Red Sox hoping the time he's sitting there will help things out, and his team continues to score runs. Reynolds to deep left. It is up and it is gone to the back of the monster seats. A 3-run home run for Mark Reynolds and an 8-0 Baltimore lead. Second home run in as many days from Mark Reynolds.
Well, when he gets that timing device down, he will go on streaks.
For strike 1 to Robert Andino. Started this inning lining out to left. 7 of the 8 runs charged Aaron Cook in his 2 2/3 innings. As Mortensen allows the 2 inherited runners to score on the 3-run home run by that guy. Eight runs on 9 hits, and we're not out of the 3rd inning yet. 1-2 skips in 1-2.
Well, it's unfortunate what happened with the collision at home plate, and we don't know the ramification of that entirely and how much that affected his stuff. But it really comes down plain and simple. I mean, if you're hoping for a day when you get a shot in the arm for the starting period. The fact is, this starting staff has an ERA of over 5.70. Not going to contend with that.
Strike 3 as Andino strikes out. It ends the inning, but it's a big inning for the O's. They lead at 8-0 after 2.5. It is 8-0. The Baltimore Orioles on top of the Red Sox. We head to the last of the 3rd. Marlon Byrd and the Red Sox have work to do as he takes strike 1 over the outside corner. Jason Hamill, the long wait as his team collects 7 runs for him in the 3rd inning. Byrd with a foul. Well, there is no doubt, Peter, that Aaron Cook was affected by the leg and the gash as he limps off after the inning, and in no doubt pain. It had to change things because he just looked different after what was a very good 1st inning for him and pretty good 2nd inning, even though he gave up the run. A pass ball allowed that run to score, but after the injury, a totally different guy. So I can say we pretty much chalk it up to that.
No question. The way he threw the dominant sinker to Chavez, the dominant sinker to Markakis, and jam Wieters of the ground ball to first. I mean, Davison did a nice job hitting the ball the opposite field, but his sinker was really crisp. He was getting the ball in on right-handed hitters.
And Dino throws out Byrd for the first out of the 3rd inning.
But afterwards wasn't the same.
Pitching line brought to you by Ace Ticket. It is not pretty, and it's 2 2/3, 8 hits, 7 runs, 6 earned runs, a walk and no strikeouts. Ended up throwing 48 pitches. But again, give him credit. He gutted it out after a pretty severe gash. Surprised to see him even stay in the game. Nick Punto bats. He struck out swinging in the 1st inning. 1 of 5 Ks for Jason Hamill already. So far, no ill effects from the long wait for Hamill. He's back out there, and he's got a ground out to begin the 3rd inning. This will be tap foul, and it is 2-2. Jason Hamill, born in Greenville, South Carolina. Do you know where he resides?
No.
I'm surprised. I don't know if you are, but Rehoboth, Massachusetts.
Huh. Got me there.
Unless it's a misprint, it's in the guide. 2-2 is outside, 3-2. He is 6'6". That appears to be him. 225 pounds. I guess he's around there. This is to right field. Markakis will come in and into the slide to make the catch. Nick Markakis handles out number 2 of the 3rd inning. So 2 away, and that'll take us to Dustin Pedroia. Nice catch by Nick Markakis in right field. Made it look easy coming in. Just a good athlete, Nick Markakis.
He is. I was doing an interview with him about a year and a half ago, and talking about how frustrating it is for Orioles players to have the place filled up with Red Sox fans, Yankee fans, etc., Phillies fans when they play them. And he said, "Yeah, I don't like it, but what's really important is that I've gotten to play against the best teams in baseball more than anything else. That's a great thing for developing as a player." And
so his comments weren't as inflammable, perhaps, as Luke Scott's then about the experience.
No, well, Luke says a lot of
stuff.
He can hit.
Yes,
thank goodness for him.
6 in a row retired by Hamill. 1-2 is fouled off to the right. And some not so nice things to say about Red Sox fans in general, and then went on to say some not so nice things about Fenway Park in general. I think he called it a dump, if I've got the right quote.
And he knows a lot about international politics too.
1-2. There's a swing and a miss. Pedroia strikes out at 6 Ks for Hamill. He's off to a very good start. So are the O's. They're on top 8-0.
Sunday, May 20th. The After Hours Tour with Glenn Fry, only at Foxwoods. For tickets, visit foxwoods.com. Foxwoods is the official resort casino of the Boston Red Sox.
All right, Peter, last night I asked Dennis Eckersley who thinks he could be a rock star. You're an actual rock star. You a big Eagles fan?
Yes. And one time I was out for one of Tony La Russa's fundraisers for ARF, Animal Rescue Foundation, Rescue Foundation, and I got a chance to play a little bit with Glenn Fry and Joe Walsh and Eagles guys. Glenn Fry's a huge Tigers fan.
How about that? Well, Eck thinks he can sing it. He knows he can do it in the shower, but you've actually played with him, so your credibility already leaps. And I didn't even know that before asking. Well, I have to thank you. My only music credit ever on a CD is on yours.
Wow.
For Wake Me, Shake Me, I think was the song.
Yes.
That, me and about 7 other people from the Red Sox are part of. Check that CD out if you get a chance.
It all goes to the foundation to be named later.
That's right. So, and it's still out there, right? I mean, it's not gone.
No, and it's right. You can find it on iTunes anytime.
Outstanding. So check it out.
We're actually doing a summer concert, Hot Stove Cool Music, for the foundation to be named later.
A strikeout here to begin things as Andy Chavez strikes out. That'll be in Chicago, though, right, Peter?
In Chicago, the night before the Red Sox start their series in Wrigley. It's right across the street.
2 strikeouts for Mortensen, 1 out here in the 4th inning. J.J. Hardy, the batter. One-zero is strike over the outside corner.
There's a CD coming out for the Red Sox Foundation with a lot of songs involving and revolving around the 100th year of Fenway Park. I recorded something, an old Sam Cooke song for that.
Nice pick by Mortensen off the backhand. He'll flip to first. Nicely done. 2 down. Let's check in with Jenny Dell.
Don, today the National Baseball Hall of Fame and Museum in Cooperstown is hosting Fenway Day, paying tribute to the nation's oldest ballpark. In April, the Hall of Fame opened an exhibit called Fentennial, Fenway Park's first 100 years, dedicated to the history of Fenway Park and featuring almost 4 dozen artifacts. Visitors with a Fenway Park ticket stub from the 2012 season will receive a free 48-page commemorative magazine of the Hall of Fame's memories and dreams. Salute to Fenway Park, looking at 100 years of Boston's sacred ground. Don, the Fentennial will be on exhibit all year long in Cooperstown.
All right, thanks very much, Jenny, and that is terrific. Hope to get to see that as 2 outs here in the 4th inning. Nick Markakis is the batter. I am sitting next to a Hall of Famer as Markakis with a swing and a miss for strike 1. What is your favorite part of the Hall of Fame, despite your wing, your area?
No.
Besides that,
I love just seeing all the different artifacts that they have brought in, whether it's, there they have a bloody sock or different bats and so forth. It's one of the best museums in the United States, whether it's baseball or history. I mean, Jeff Adelson and everybody there, it's just astounding, and it's so great for kids.
8-0 Orioles. 8-0 Orioles on top of the Red Sox. Last half of the fourth inning. David Ortiz struck out in the first inning. Gets his second crack here. Jason Hamill. And he takes ball one outside. So far, Hamill has been impressive. He's racked up 6 Ks through the first 3 innings. He's given up 2 hits, an infield single and a double. 1-0 is outside. This one fouled off to the left, out of play. Do you consider Nick Cafardo a good source?
Very good source.
Okay. Nick Cafardo has texted me that Hamill's wife went to LaSalle Academy in Providence. So perhaps that's why they have called this home, and he lives in Rehoboth, Massachusetts.
That's terrific. Well, I thought it was maybe because it was close to Somerset, home of Jerry Remy, and he liked the Somerset Creamery.
Had to ask about Cafardo because I'm kind of on the fence on Cafardo being a credible source. 3-1 the count to David Ortiz. Sure, I'll hear about that later. There's ball 4, and the Red Sox try to get it started here in the fourth inning. And speaking of Nick Cafardo, BostonGlobe.com. It's everything you love about the Globe. Now available on every device for home delivery subscribers. Unlimited access is always available, but it's free for everyone until tomorrow, courtesy of Coldwell Banker Residential Brokerage. Lead runner on for the Red Sox, first time today. Adrian Gonzalez coming up. Gonzalez doubled in the first inning, one of only 2 Red Sox hits on the day.
After the deluge, the game sort of slows down, but that Gonzalez at bat may be something we remember for a while as he starts to get his stroke and his timing back.
Look at there, the pitching coach looking out as the catcher Wieters out to talk to Hamill. He walks the first batter and now falls behind Gonzalez 2-0. Swing and a miss. Blew it by him at 93. We just saw a shot of the dugout end. DeMarlo Hale. Peter, are you surprised at all DeMarlo did not get a shot or at the very least an interview here in Boston when the managerial job opened?
I think that was a very touchy situation because he was so close to Terry Francona. Having known DeMarlo from his time as a player in the Red Sox farm system to being, I thought, one of the best minor league managers they ever had, I was disappointed, but I understand because of the relationship with Francona. But he's going to be a major league manager someday. I mean, he was ousted here after setting the Eastern League record for winning percentage. And actually, I had a long talk with Buck Showalter about who was managing in Texas, and Buck hired him as his third base coach. And Buck also has always said, you know what, there's a guy definitely is going to end up managing in the major leagues and should have a very good career at it. Distinguished gentleman.
Swing and a miss. Adrian Gonzalez strikes out at 7 Ks for Hamill. He's racking them up here, and there's one down in the fourth inning. Living with a fastball. You get 2 strikes on Gonzalez with the fastball and finishes him off at 94. Which normally Adrian gets to.
Yes. As I mentioned, that Elias note that he had the best batting average against fastballs of anybody in the big leagues last year, and it dropped 150 points.
1 on, 1 out. Mike Aviles grounded out to second base in the first inning. Dropping down in the order today to 5th. On the ground is short. Hardy will go to second for one, on to first for two. Double play that ends things in the fourth. Hamill rolling along. His team's got an 8-0 lead. Eastern Bank, listening, guiding, and being there for kids in need. That's what Eastern Bank and Adrian and Betsy Gonzalez are made of, which is why we've teamed up to support youth mentoring programs throughout Massachusetts. To find out more, go to easternbank.com/Adrian. Fifth inning from Fenway Park as Clayton Mortensen tries to eat up some innings here for the Red Sox. The starter, Aaron Cook, went 2 2/3. He's charged with 7 of the 8 runs the Orioles have. And it is Adam Jones, Matt Wieters, and Chris Davis. That is not the entire story on the line for Aaron Cook. He was spiked at play at home plate and certainly was a different guy after the gash to his leg. And he'd gone through 2 innings giving up just the 1 run. And after that, a much different guy in the 3rd inning. That's when the Orioles got to him. And Clayton Mortensen came in, gave up a 3-run home run to Reynolds. 2 of those runs were charged to Cook. And Cook's first outing in a Red Sox uniform, not only tough but painful. (2-0) to Adam Jones.
Now, as if it's not enough for Amherst to have the 2 general managers, Dad Duquette and Ben Cherington, Adam Jones' girlfriend, Artie Fugit, who's here today, is the daughter of Gene Fugit, who was arguably the greatest player in the history of Amherst, several-time Pro Bowl tight end for both the Redskins and the Dallas Cowboys, and a gentleman that tried to buy the Orioles before Peter Angelos eventually got it. Would have been pretty good for Adam if he had bought them.
3-1 is a check swing, grounded foul. We're just talking about the injury for Aaron Cook, and this is it again as he was walking the plate on a pass ball and gets spiked. Bad gash for him. Spikes of Chris Davis just trying to get in to get to the plate. And not a pretty sight. Tried to pitch with it. 3-2. On the ground towards Avila's to shortstop. To first for the out. And there's one away in the 5th. Well, Dunkin' Donuts is proud to give back at every Red Sox home game. Dunkin' Donuts, nonprofit children's organization. Thousands of kids have had the chance to catch a Red Sox home game thanks to Dunkin' Donuts. Today we welcome the Northeast Center for Youth and Families After-School Program from East Hampton, Massachusetts. Dunkin' Donuts committed to the community. Five in a row retired by Mortensen, who settles in here a little bit as Matt Wieters bats and takes ball 1. Well, now the Orioles are off to this terrific start. The question is, you mentioned the ownership for the Orioles. Do they make any moves if they are sort of in it when we get to a little deeper into the season. I think they would add to the payroll.
I think they would. I think it's worth it to the attendance, which has been depressed the last 3 or 4 years. I think it's worth it to the television market. And I think that, when you have two people who are very aggressive by nature, like Dan Duquette and Buck Showalter, they're going to do everything they can. I mean, they won't trade away a Dylan Bundy or some really good prospect in the organization, but at the same time, they'll go out and add some people. Because, again, I mean, I'm not sure that they see anybody with the state of the Red Sox and Yankee pitching. I don't think anyone really sees a team that's going to go win 100, 105 games. I mean, Tampa's got a great record, but they still have a payroll that's lower than the dollars the Red Sox have on the disabled list.
This is popped up. Shift was on. Long run for Punto, but it's going to be Saltalamacchia who doesn't catch it. Punto looked like he had the best opportunity. It looked like Saltalamacchia called him off and then could not make the catch. Well, they're going to charge him with an error.
Well, this has been a tough day. Not blocking that ball in the dirt from Cook, and even had trouble with a pitch from Sevis last night.
Wieters fooled badly, and he strikes out. It's a changeup again from Mortensen. He picks up his 4th strikeout. It's still working today. 2 down. This is a nasty pitch for the A's to deal with, and so far for the Orioles.
He says, look, Jamie Moore can throw about 40, 50 of them in a row. I can keep trying to throw it too.
They have changed that play to no play. They don't charge the error to Saltalamacchia. Initially they had. There is Chris Davis. 6 in a row retired by Mortensen. Number foul, 1-1.
I think the way the Red Sox would look at the Marcos Kudrow deal would be that they got Cody Ross with the money saved. They were able to sign Shopik. They got Mortensen. So
it turned into 3 or maybe 4 guys.
Which was the intent. Plus they wanted to give Avilos a chance to play shortstop until Iglesias is ready.
We talked about catching quite a bit. When do you think Ryan LaVarnway would be the right fit for Boston?
Well, I asked. His average has been down, but I was told that his at-bats have been good. I think he's an advanced enough hitter so that it won't affect him too much in the major leagues. He's got a lot of plate discipline. He's highly intelligent, and it's just a matter of, you're not going to go with 3 catchers, so.
Defense has been a question, but
he has. But he's led 3 leagues in a row in throwing runners out.
Swing and a miss. Salty's got to add the tag. He does, and that ends the inning. Mortensen with 5 Ks settled down this Orioles offense. They still lead at 8-0. brought to you by Eastern Bank. At Eastern Bank, we're made of historic milestones, and now our home team has reached one of its own. Congratulations on this special anniversary from one Boston institution to another. It is the last of the 5th inning for the Red Sox. They trail 8-0, being out hit 9-2. Ryan Sweeney leading it off here in the 5th inning. A strikeout victim in the 2nd, but he is not alone in that category. Jason Hamill has 7 strikeouts through the first 4 innings. He's mixed in some ground ball outs.
And good curveballs.
1-0 is on the corner, 1-1. Popped up, foul ground. Racing is Reynolds by the stands. Will not have a play. Throw out of his reach, but a good bid by Reynolds.
People think of pitching in Colorado and all the home runs, and if you're a high ball pitcher, but it can really affect you if you're a sinker baller too, because the ball is such a hard field, the ball, and there's so much room that ground balls, low line drives, they skip through that outfield like crazy.
Down the left field line. Chavez over, but it's back into the seats. And then it's 1-2.
Can really beat a pitcher up badly. And I think I was told that's what happened with Hamill. He just got beaten up pitching in that part.
In Colorado from 2009 through last year was 7-13 last year, with a 4.76 earned run average. So the humidor didn't help him out.
No.
What you're saying.
So the ball really traveled. It's a huge outfield expanse, and the ball will really shoot through the gaps, and the infield is very hard. So it's get it in the air, it's a problem. Get it down, it's a problem. And because of the air, the elevation, the recovery time is a real problem for certain pitchers.
That's outside, full count. 8th pitch of the at bat coming up here for Ryan Sweeney, who leads it off in the bottom of the 5th inning. Fouls off another. Ross and then Jared Saltalamacchi expected here in the 5th. In honor of Fenway's centennial this year, Beth Israel Deaconess, the official hospital of the Boston Red Sox, is offering a daily health tip to help you live to be 100. Sign up at 100pitches.org.
Today's is don't block home plate.
3-2 is lined to second, and Dino makes the catch. Step to his left and makes the grab. A hot shot and a good at bat for Sweeney, but in the end, Andino makes the catch for the first out of the inning. Hit it hard, but right there is Andino.
I can understand why Joe Madden and the Rays gave Andino that big ovation on opening when they played them the first time this season.
He had good numbers against the Red Sox prior to what he did in game number 162 last year. He's just one of those guys who's had some big games against Boston, but none bigger than that one.
Well, I was told that more teams inquired about Andino in the offseason than any other Oriole. He's a very useful player, plays different positions. He's got a lot of energy.
I remember watching him one year in spring training with the Florida Marlins before the deal there, and he was very impressive during spring training. This is on the ground, back to Hamill. He will throw to first, and Cody Ross, he is out number 2 as we check back with Jenny Dell.
Yes, Don, it's time now for some MLB news and notes, which is brought to you by Nissan. Another closer injury last night. San Diego Houston Street left Friday's game with a strained right shoulder. Street, who has a .93 ERA, will have an MRI today. More closer news. The White Sox have made Chris Sale their closer. Sale, who is 3-1 in their 5 starts, replaces Hector Santiago. And for the second straight night, the Angels were shut out at home by the Toronto Blue Jays. Albert Pujols saw his average drop to .194, and he was openly booed by fans as his homerless drought reached 108 at-bats this season. Don?
Yeah, Jenny, thanks very much, Peter. Let's start with what Jenny ended with. Albert Pujols. There's a lot going on out there as this is on the ground at second base. Santino will throw to first, and we'll continue our conversation in the 6th inning. We're through 5 now. It's 8-0 Baltimore. A little different atmosphere. As we start the 6th inning, we ended the 5th inning talking about Albert Pujols and the start there. There's been all kinds of things going on, discussions about coaching staff and everything else going on. What is going on with Albert Pujols and the fact that he has no home runs?
Well, I think now it's gotten to the point where he's pressing a ton. For right up until the last few days, the fact that they had the worst on-base percentage in the 1-2 holes in front of him in the league was very difficult.
A hop that explodes on Gonzalez, but he picks it and takes it to the bag for the first out of the inning.
But they've been very erratic offensively. There's no getting around it. Albert has really struggled. I'm sure that he's trying to do too much, trying to hit the ball in the air rather than just concentrate on doing what he does so well. But it's really been a struggle. I mean, it's unbelievable that the only 2 teams in the league with the worst record are Minnesota and Kansas City. And, you know, first to admit, I thought they were going to be really good. I still think they will be, but I'm not sure they're going to compare to Texas. So it's been tough. The other thing that Jenny mentioned was about injured closers. I mean, 4 of the 5 closers in the American League East, Bailey, Rivera, Santos, and Farnsworth, were all out. Of course, Fernando Rodney now leads the division in saves, but that's another. And then you've got Kansas City, Soria and Holland are out. Washington, Storen and Lidge are out. Madison and Cincinnati, Street, as she mentioned, in San Diego. And Brian Wilson, the great closer of the Giants, is also hurt. So it's been the year of sending closers to Beth Israel.
And as the Red Sox have found out, you lose your closer, it messes up your entire bullpen.
Absolutely. I mean, the Giants already made one deal, and I mean, Brian Wilson's been great for them, but still, I mean, and they say, well, we can do this, we can do that. No, you can't. It's not the same when you lose that guy.
2 to Reynolds is outside, and it's 2-2. Well, the Orioles have theirs. Jim Johnson, he's been very good.
Very good, and all those being able to line up. I mean, you wonder exactly what would it be like if you had to have Strode and all the rest.
He's out to right center field, sending Bird back towards the triangle, and that's going to get down to the 420 marker. As Bird fires it back in, it is a double with one out from Mark Reynolds, deepest part of the ballpark out there. Breaks up a string of 8 in a row retired by Mortensen. Second hit for Reynolds.
I think it's very clear Reynolds' timing is started to return to him, and he can really get hot. It's one extreme or the other, but looking how the Orioles have lined up in front of Johnson. I mean, they've gotten so much out of Stroke, they've gotten so much out of Ayala, they've gotten a ton out of Matt Lindstrom. I mean, it's won them a lot of really tough games, and especially on this trip, winning 2 out of 3 in New York and winning last night here in a very, very tough game. Because what Albers and Aceves did last night, you'd say, okay, that's a game the Red Sox normally would win, and yet the Orioles bullpen shut them out.
It turned into a battle of bullpens, and no doubt the Orioles pen won that battle. And we're talking about closers. Papelbon 9 saves for Philadelphia Phillies. We'll get an update from Tom Caron coming up next half inning. Phillies and Nationals meeting. That's a strike, and it's strike 2 to Andino. Mortensen came in for 3 innings the other day, and here he is logging some more innings for the Red Sox. Came in the 3rd, and here he is in the 6th with 1 out. His 50th pitch.
He wanted me to point out that it's a great thing for the state of Idaho, because he and Matt Lindstrom, who are actually teammates in Colorado, pitched against each other when they were young in Idaho. So I haven't known too many pitchers from Idaho.
I don't know.
Mike Garman once for the Red Sox.
I don't think I know any people from Idaho. 1-2 is chopped towards third base. Punto fires across in time. 2 down. Let's get the update from Tom Caron right now. TC. All right, Tom, thanks very much. Here it has been lopsided. The Baltimore Orioles have an 8-0 advantage after they won a 13-inning contest last night, 6-4. 2 outs in the 6th inning. Mark Reynolds at second base for Andy Chavez. Pitch is inside, ball 1. Action in the Red Sox pen. Another guy who logs innings on a regular basis, Scott Atchison. He's gotten plenty of use in this 2012 season.
Well, in an otherwise dreary homestand, Mortensen has been a pleasant surprise.
And you take a look at the deal, and you think more of the salary ramifications rather than the guy you got back at the time. And here he is pitching pretty well in 2 outings. Very surprising.
Well, again, he's funky. He's got the great changeup.
How is Marco doing in Colorado?
He struggled. It hasn't been great. He's played, of course, he's only played second base. They've got Tulowitzki playing shortstop, but it hasn't been great for him.
That's a strike, 3-1.
But the Rockies have underachieved. They're a better team than what they've done thus far. And what they tried to do with Michael Kadire and Marco and some of the other players they signed to get high character guys, they just felt that the clubhouse needed to be changed around.
The Rockies 12-13 going into today's action, 4.5 games back of the Dodgers in the NL West. Dodgers out to 17-9 start. They've lost 2 in a row. But unlike the Red Sox, they play great at home. They're 10-2 at Dodger Stadium.
It's incredible the balls that Matt Kemp hits there to center and right center, considering how badly the ball travels.
3-2 is in the air to right field. Sweeney moves over and makes the catch. Talked a lot about small talk. Let's get a little tease here as we head to break.
They call.
Back to the bottom of the 6th inning. Marlon Byrd leading it off for the Red Sox as he did in the 3rd inning. Grounded out that time and is only at bat of the game. And this has been an impressive outing for Jason Hamill, the starter for the Orioles. He's got plenty of offense. O's on top 8-0. Count 1-1 as Hamill up to 85 pitches working here in the 6th inning. Red Sox have 2 hits, none since the 1st inning. Bird fouls it off to the right, still 1-2. First, then we'll see Punto and Pedroia as part of this bottom of the 6th inning. Red Sox trying to dig their way out of an 8-0 hole here at the moment. 90th pitch for Hamill. And it's a fly ball to center field. Adam Jones makes his way to right center now and makes the catch for the first out of the inning. Well, we teased small talk. Here is a preview of small talk.
Hello, my name is Christopher Hernandez. Would you like to speak in English or Spanish better?
Well, in my case, Spanish is my first language, but I don't mind speaking English anytime. I can speak English all day.
David Ortiz on the hot seat as that goes flying into the stands off the bat of Punto.
Ooh.
Looks like a youngster got hit by that bat. No doubt that affects Nick Punto as he looks back into the crowd. They have taken the youngster out.
Got it over here for.
One out here in the 6th inning is Punto tries to refocus here, getting back in the box. The 0-1. Seeing more bats flying here in the early part of the season. This is on the ground down the first baseline. Foul.
The configuration of a lot of bats today, between the maple bats, between the number of very thin-handled bats, the players want to generate more bat speed. It's something that's been studied, and there's a definite danger. I mean, I always worry about guys in the on-deck circle, and people hope that this youngster is all right. But I mean, people close to the action in a ballpark where the boxes are very close to home plate.
And Punto is out number 2 as this is strikeout number 8 for Hamill, and he uses the curveball to strike him out. Punto retired, 2 down here in the 6th inning.
Now, I realize it's only Cinco de Mayo, so it's very early, but you look and you see Tampa Bay is leading the league in earned run average. They're starting pitchers. Toronto is second in the American League in starting pitching. Baltimore third, and they're both more than 2 runs better than the Yankees or Red Sox.
8-0 as the Orioles roll along through 6. Tonight at 10, join Jamison Coyle for NESN Daily, presented by Sun Life Financial. They'll preview tomorrow's Game 4 showdown at the Garden as the Celtics look to take a 3-1 series lead over the Hawks. Plus, you'll have highlights from around the American League East. All this and much more on NESN Daily tonight at 10, only on NESN. Cinco de Mayo. As we move to the top of the 7th inning, new pitcher for the Red Sox, third of the day. Scott Atchison into the game here for the 7th inning. His 12th appearance, a 1.80. Earned run average, right back at him. Knocks it down, pops back up into the bare hand, and then fires to Gonzalez at first for the out. Almost handcuffed Adrian with that toss, and they're coming out to check on Atchison. I didn't think it got his body, but apparently they did. Thought he got it with the glove. Looks like he got the glove, and Natch told him he was all right. So back to the dugout they go. 1-3 on the putout of J.J. Hardy to begin the 7th. Nick Markakis stands in and takes strike one. Clayton Mortensen good again as he goes 3 1/3, 2 hits. Gets charged with 1 run. He did give up the 3-run home run, but 2 of the runners were inherited. But he ends up striking out 5. Didn't walk anybody as Markakis is out number 2 of the 7th inning. And that'll take us to the trivia question today, AT&T trivia question. Question is, which Hall of Famer was Bobby Valentine once traded with? We'll have the answer for you a little bit later. Two down in the 7th inning. Adam Jones coming up.
I think I know the answer to that.
I'm going to be honest and tell you I don't have a clue. One-0 is swing and a miss. Trying to hold up was Jones, and it is a ball and a strike.
And if I've got the right deal, the player traded in return changed the history of baseball.
In the air to right, Sweeney is over to the dirt of the track to make the catch, and Atchison has a 1-2-3 7th inning. It's 7th inning stretch, and it's 8-0 Baltimore.
The Amica Pitch Zone is brought to you by Amica Insurance. Amica Insurance is not just how you're covered, it's how you're treated. And here are the 3 Jason Hamill strikeouts in the 2nd inning. Good breaking ball to strike out Jared Saltalamacchia. Well, he sent that fastball down up and away, running out of the strike zone. It's been very impressive.
Well, it has been an 8 strikeout day for Hamill, who deals with 3, 4, and 5 in the Red Sox order. We look at his line through 6 innings, just the 2 hits. They were way back in the first inning. Now works in the 7th as David Ortiz takes ball 1. David has struck out swinging and walked in 2 plate appearances today against Hamill. This, in a lot of ways, when Buck Showalter took over for Dave Tremblay, and you think about the situation here for the Orioles. They had Juan Samuel in between as an interim, but got to change the culture right away from a losing atmosphere to a winning atmosphere. And I think of the job that Joe Madden has done with the Tampa Bay Rays and changing the entire thought process of how they think.
Absolutely. I remember talking to Buck a lot before he took over that job, and he said, you know, just spending a little time with the players, they have to have their self-esteem restored.
Shift is on. The shortstop Hardy's on the right side of the infield, and he throws out Ortiz. Let's check in with Jenny Dell.
Don, Josh Beckett revealed that his lat fell sore prior to his last start in Chicago on Sunday, where he tied a career record by throwing 126 pitches in the cold Chicago weather.
You can always, on your start day, make yourself believe that things are better than they are. And, I really wanted to pitch and, just ended up making things worse.
Bobby Valentine said, in retrospect, it would have been nice to know that. We have a system set up for information flow. And Don, he said, it seems like there was a little snag there.
It does appear that Bobby would like to have known that information before the 126 pitches and everything else, but Josh tried to trick his way into believing that he was okay.
I understand that, but I understand Bobby Valentine's position much better. I mean, he has to know that, and if this injury turns out to be lingering, or it could have been more serious, it's not the manager's doing, and he's trying to get some of his starters stretched out a little bit. He may go with 6 starters for a while here in May. I mean, if he doesn't know that it's bothering Beckett, it's not his fault.
Jim Rose says that Gonzalez did not offer. It's 2 balls, 2 strikes. You get the feeling that Josh may miss another turn in the rotation, whether there's a DL possibility.
I don't know. I mean, he's pretty good. I mean, I'll say this. He really does try to put mind over matter. And in September last year, remember, he hurt his ankle in Toronto. I think it was on the 4th of September. And it was very clear that he couldn't maintain his delivery. His landing was not the same. And yet he kept saying, no, there's nothing wrong with me. I can do it.
3-2 hit on the ground, and diving is Andino at the shift, but he's got no play. He's a long way away. And Adrian's got another hit. His second hit of the day after a 3-hit night last night. Red Sox have their first hit since the first inning. And the last hit for him was Adrian's also. It was a double back in the first.
Getting a ground ball through a shift like this is like getting through a maze. But it's always good to get Adrian those infield hits.
1 out, 1 on for Mike Aviles. Makes up a string of 8 in a row retired by Hamill. And 15 of the last 16 retired by Hamill. He's in 107 pitches, and Darren O'Day warming in the pen. Sidewinding right-hander. 1 away from a season high, and there it is. This is the right center. And over is Markakis to put it away. 2 down in the 7th inning. Let's get the answer to our AT&T trivia question. Which Hall of Famer was Bobby Valentine once traded with? And the answer is Frank Robinson. Valentine, Robinson. 3 others traded by Los Angeles Dodgers to the California Angels for Ken McMullen and Andy Messerschmidt.
And of course, it was Andy Messersmith who changed baseball by challenging the reserve system and creating free agency. That's quite a trade when you get to
4 times that Robinson was traded in his career. Valentine was traded 3 times during his playing career, including to the Mets. One other player for Dave Kingman.
Robbie Valentine, had he not wrecked his leg crashing into the fence in Anaheim, would have been a great player. The late Harry Dalton, the great general manager, was the general manager of the Orioles when they won the World Series and did so much. Built the Brewers later. He always thought that could have been his greatest trade, only for the injury to Valentine. Although trading Jim Fregosi for Nolan Ryan wasn't too shabby.
No, that's not bad.
Another Amherst guy I might mention. Great man, Harry Dalton.
2-1.
Actually, it was Harry who hired Dan Duquette as an intern out of college with the Brewers.
Dan made mention of that when he was introduced to the media in Baltimore. Certainly important to him, near and dear to his heart. Two-two pitch. Dan has done a great deal for Western Massachusetts. Of course, spending a lot of the time there over the last 8 years. Well, he was out of the game, or at least out of the major league game. Three-two. Is sent foul off to the left, out of play. For every Red Sox game that goes into extra innings or the Sox earn a save, CVS Pharmacy will make a donation to Boston Children's Hospital towards their $25,000 donation this season. 2 outs. Adrian Gonzalez at first base. Ryan Sweeney struck out, lined out. 114 pitches for Hamill. And a fly ball struck pretty well to left. Back up, and it is off the wall. Chavez will get it back in, around from first base. Gonzalez will get in. And as the ball gets away, to third goes Sweeney. They had a shot to get Adrian at the plate, but he gets all the way around from first base. And the Red Sox are on the board for the first time today.
Well, this is classic Ryan Sweeney growing into this ballpark. And I think we may see, he's actually strong. He's just never thought of himself as a power hitter, but the more he gets that stroke, he's strong enough to hit the ball off the wall pretty consistently. There was a time in spring training where there was some discussion of where is he going to show power. I was in Arizona at the time. I thought, oh no, because he actually is with the perfect guy. And it was said to me by a couple of people he used to play for. Matter of fact, Bob Melvin mentioned it. He's got the perfect hitting coach because he is Dave Magadan. Dave Magadan was what Ryan Sweeney is. Just uses the whole field, very intelligent hitter. And Magadan's been great with Sweeney.
8-1 Orioles, the pitching change from Fenway Park. Bank. At Eastern Bank, we're made of free checking that's got nothing to hide, which means no fees or any other types of curveballs. Check out what else we're made of at easternbank.com. 2 down in the 7th inning. The Red Sox finally chased Jason Hamill from this game, but his pitch count, really more than anything else, has chased him from the game. 115 pitches. Finally gives up a run here in the 7th inning, and Darren O'Day checks into his 11th game of the year, 2-0, 0.71 earned run average. 13 Ks to 3 walks. Opponents hitting at 150 against Darren O'Day. 4 hits allowed by Hamill in a 6 2/3, and 2 of them came in this inning. The other 2 came in the 1st inning. Red Sox with nothing in between. Ends up walking 1, striking out 8, and is responsible for Sweeney, who is at 3rd base thanks to the throwing error by Chavez in left field. There is Cody Ross.
Well, it's been very impressive. They've gone to New York and Boston. Their top 2 starters, Jake Arrieta and now Hamill, have really pitched well. I mean, Arrieta shut out the Yankees. Hamill dominated the Red Sox here. That's a very encouraging statement for the Orioles to take back when they eventually get back to Baltimore and say to their fans, look, we used to get hammered in those places. Look at what we can do now. And that's... I think there's a different feeling. I know that that Adam Jones had told some of the writers last night that it used to be, I think, at 1-1 in Fenway Park in the 6th or 7th inning. Goodbye. They'll always find a way to lose. They don't feel that way anymore.
Outside for ball 2, 2-1. Nine straight scoreless appearances for Darren O'Day. Covers 11 1/3 innings pitched. He's claimed off waivers from Texas in November of last offseason. 2-2. Sidewinder with a tough slider that just got Ross to chase. 2-2. Ross to right center, falling fast and in for a base hit from 3rd base. Comes Ryan Sweeney. The Red Sox collect their 2nd run. Cody Ross picks up RBI number 20 of the season. Sinking fastball that time, and he sends it out to right center field. Went down and got it. So 2 down to the inning. Saltalamacchia stands in with a runner at first and takes ball 1. Jared today has struck out swinging, grounded out to 2nd base, 0 for 2. That's a strike, and it's 1-1. One and 2 as it was biting down and in.
Curious how they've ended up together, Duquette and Showalter. They're both guys who always have loved having right-handers and left-handers that threw from the side, just to give you a different look. We saw all that power out of the arms that they threw last night. This is a totally different look in the bullpen. Matter of fact, Buck used to have a rule in the organization in Arizona. Before they released a guy, they would try to have him drop down and throw from the side. See if they could find the next Todd Froworth or whatever.
How do you view the relationship so far with Buck Showalter and Dan Duquette working?
I think it's been fine. I mean, I think it's very clear that Dan really respects how serious Buck is about everything and how much Buck believes in his coaching staff and what they do.
3-2 is to left. Chavez on the run, won't get there. To one-hop the wall. Cody Ross stopped at third. To second base goes Saltalamacchia with a double. And it's second and third as the Red Sox start to make some noise here in the 7th inning. So far, Darren O'Day has not been a mystery.
No, not hardly. Saltalamacchia went down, just stayed with the pitch, head in, and drove it into the corner. That's the only thing you can do. You can't pull that pitch.
So 2 down here in the 7th inning. Second and third, Marlon Byrd trying to get the Red Sox closer. So they try to chip away. Grounded out in the 3rd inning. Flied out to center in the 6th. Swing and a miss. Foul tip 0-2. I'll remind you this copyright telecast presented by authority of the Boston Red Sox may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form. The accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without express written consent of the Boston Red Sox. 2 outs, 7th inning. Red Sox so far with 2 runs in the 7th. O'Day trying to secure the final out of the 7th inning. Time called. Cody Ross at third. Jared Saltalamacchia at second. 2 down. That is just outside. Nick Punto, the top of the Red Sox order, waiting on deck. First to 1-2. Swing and a miss. Gets Bird to chase and strikes him out. Red Sox gather 2 runs in the inning. A trail 8-2 at the end of 7.
I mean, they're now 8-19 since the 1st of September last year, and They've lost now 9 out of 10 here. I think there are a couple of factors. One, the starting pitching has not been very good. I mean, you can't continually have an ERA over 5 out of your starting pitchers and be a competitive team. Secondly, I just don't think there's an intimidation factor. They have a lot of injuries in that lineup. They're not scoring a lot of big runs. They're 0-3 in games and decided by 1 or 2 runs. It's a little bit different now than it was.
Back to Ness and Daly. 8-2, the Baltimore Orioles have the lead over the Red Sox as we head to the 8th inning. The Red Sox getting 2 runs back in the bottom of the 7th.
So I got a suggestion here now.
What do you got?
Well, the crowd's a little hushed. They don't want to leave, though. I mean, they still love Fenway Park. So Ryan Sweeney should do what Jeff Francoeur did. Now, Jeff Francoeur had a Red Sox credit card until he was 20, since his family's from Chicopee. Last night in Kansas City, they're losing to the Yankees. Jeff Francoeur, in between innings, goes out to right field, wraps a baseball in a $100 bill, throws it up into the crowd and tells them, go buy beers.
Nice. So
So maybe they just have Ryan Sweeney take a baseball, wrap it up with a $100 bill, fire it up in the crowd, and go buy beers on me.
Well, Jeff Francoeur has new fans that he didn't have before, that's for sure.
He is a personality.
Wildly popular there and wanted to stay there, too. As Matt Wieters leads it off here in the 8th inning for the Orioles and slaps it foul. Scott Atchison back on the mound. He pitched a 1-2-3 7th inning. This one fouled off the shoe tops, and it's 1-2. Wieters grounds it towards second. Pedroia plays the hop and throws him out for the first out of the 8th inning. Well, tomorrow afternoon, immediately following Red Sox first pitch, join us for Red Sox Game Day Live presented by Uno's with Randy Scott, Jim, Jenny at 1. Preview Clay Buchholz's start of the series finale against the Orioles, plus David Ortiz takes the hot seat in the second installment of Red Sox Small Talk, where the kids ask the questions. Live coverage begins at 12:30 only on NESN. 1 out in the 8th inning, and Chris Davis, the batter. There's not a more infectious smile than David Ortiz's.
Oh, I know. Well, they had a bunch of kids on Bobby Valentine Day in Yarmouth the other day.
This is to short of Vilas. 2 down.
They had a bunch of kids from the elementary school ask Bobby questions. And one of the first questions was, is Wally real?
How did he battle that? What did
he said? He
up
absolutely is real.
He lives in the Green Monster. Bobby was out talking to the first base umpire, James Hoy, in between innings for a long time. Hoy is not the crew chief of this crew. Tough to really figure out what it was that the conversation was about. And he was out there in between innings. He was not animated in any way. As the count is 1-1 to Wilson Betterman. Two hits for Betterman in the game. A single to center, single to right. He has scored a run and grounded out. It's outside, 3-1. Atchison has retired all 5 Orioles see his face since coming into the game. Till now, he walks Betterman with 2 down in the 8th. Covidien, a global healthcare products company, is a proud sponsor of the Red Sox Foundation, helping to address health needs in our community. 2 down in the 8th. Benjamin at first base, and Mark Reynolds coming up. He's had a good series. A home run last night, a home run today, and a 3-run blast in the 3rd inning, along with a double in the 6th inning, a 2-for-3 afternoon. Reynolds, 28 years old. 44 home runs for the Arizona Diamondbacks in 2009. And 32 in his last year in Arizona, then last year in year 1 in Baltimore with 37.
It's a little bit like Adam Dunn or what Gorman Thomas used to be years ago. You get a lot of strikeouts, but you do get a lot of home runs.
This is the second of his 2 home runs this year. 1 last night, 3-run home run today. Well, bounce in. Looked like he wanted to swing. But held up 2-2. Strikeouts are part of his game, though. No doubt about that. 223 strikeouts a year that he had 44 home runs. 211 the next year. Last year stayed under 200 for the first time since 2007. He struck out 196 times. And this is fouled off to the right. Clayton Morrison went 3 1/3 innings to log some innings after Aaron Cook left after 2 2/3. Atchison now trying to work through his 2nd inning of relief. At the 7th, has 2 outs here in the 8th. Swing and a miss. He strikes out Reynolds to end the top of the 8th inning. It's 8-2 Orioles after 7 1/2. Immediately following the game, stay with us for WB Basin Extra Innings Live at TC. The Globe's Nick Cafardo and Jenny. They'll have a breakdown of Aaron Cook's outing, including his take on today's performance. Plus, catch Bobby Valentine's thoughts on Game 2 from the Fenway interview room. It's all coming up right after the game on WB Mason Extra Innings Live. 8-2, the Orioles on top of the Red Sox. In between innings, Bobby Valentine out there again. And this time involved the home plate umpire, Mike Esterbrook, as well as James Hoy. Actually, that's Jim Reynolds from third base. So he's talked to 3 of the 4 umpires.
I wonder if it has something to do with O'Day's delivery with runners on base. But that is a guess.
Maybe that he's not stopping, perhaps wanting a balk. And that's what I figured when he started with Hoy, the first base umpire. Red Sox did have base runners on in the 7th inning when he came in. Ross was at first base, first batter that he dealt with. 1-1 the count here to leadoff hitter Nick Punto. Today 0 for 3. Jammed and flips a pop-up, shallow left center that Jones will handle for the first out of the 8th inning. Hess and Hess Express are proud sponsors of the Red Sox and the Red Sox on Nesson. During the 2012 season, Hess and Hess Express will donate $500 to the Pediatric Trauma Program at Children's Hospital Boston. For every Red Sox home run, Hess and Hess Express committed to helping the cause. 1 out here in the 8th inning, and Dustin Pedroia, the batter, reached on an infield hit in the first inning. Since then, he has struck out and grounded out. As he takes strike 1. Fouled off, and it's 0-2. Troy Patton, who we saw last night, the left-hander, warming in the pen now for the Orioles. Jason Hamill going the first 6 2/3 innings of this contest. Darren O'Day got the final out of the 7th as the first out of the 8th. In the air to left. Chavez back and is high off the wall. Pedroia's got a motor to second, and he will just get in. Wall ball double that almost got out of here for Dustin Pedroia.
Well, it's a good example of what George Brett always believed in, is when you hit the ball, the first step out should be double. It's the way Pedroia plays. Not many guys make second base on that play.
Well, with the lefties coming up, both lefties coming in, and Troy Patton, the pitching change from Fenway. It's 8-2 Baltimore. run would score on this pass ball, and he gets injured as coming in and spiking him was Chris Davis. A gash in his leg, and did not pitch the same the rest of the way. He would give up a blast for Adam Jones. It's part of a 7-run third inning for the Orioles to open up this game 8-0 at one time, and then he would leave and certainly limp off. No doubt that injury, big part of the tough outing that he ends up having today, limping off to the clubhouse. It's 8-2 still. Pitch is strike one over the outside corner to David Ortiz. The new pitcher is Troy Patton. His 11th appearance, 1-0 with a 3.75 earned run average. He's worked in 12 innings, and opponents hitting at .239 against Patton. And 2 innings in last night's game and picked up the win as part of the 13-inning victory for the O's last night. And there is more action behind him. Matt Lindstrom, who we also saw as part of last night's game as well. Darren O'Day departs, responsible for Dustin Pedroia at second base, as Ortiz takes ball 2. O'Day gave up 3 hits, didn't walk anybody, struck out a batter. 9 Ks today for Orioles pitching. And a swing and a miss for Big Papi.
You can see how much Patton has dropped down now. When he was when he was coming up in the Houston organization, he was considered a prime prospect. It never quite panned out. He, like Matt Albers, was traded over to Baltimore.
Back to the pitcher, thinking 2, and the throw is not going to be in time. Patton makes the stab. That sounded like it was at the end of the bat, or a broken bat. It was, as Papi breaks it over his head to make sure it was a broken bat. And Pedroia is able to get back to the bag. Adrian Gonzalez shift on, diving is Hardy from one knee. It's a tough throw that Davis can't pick at first base. Got a few of those in the last 2 days. Hardy did a very good job, but throw does not get there in the air. It's a base hit for Gonzalez, his second 3-hit performance in the last 24 hours.
Well, he was able to make the right throw at the right time. The one last night won the game. I wasn't sure in the first couple of innings whether too many throws are going to be caught at all over first base.
No, it started very badly. It was 2 errors in the first inning.
What was what I said? Could you mix in a catch, please?
This is the major leagues. It is 8-2. We will keep it right here at Fenway Park as a pitching change for Buck Showalter. Troy Patton comes in and faces 2 batters. Gets Ortiz to line out, but was ruled a hit for Adrian Gonzalez. Has runners at first and third with 2 down. And coming in is Lindstrom. While we have a moment, Lindstrom gets ready. It is time now for a look at the road ahead, brought to you by Safeco Insurance. Tomorrow, Game 3 of the series, it'll be Tommy Hunter and Clay Buchholz taking them out. Hunter will be making his 7th career start against the Red Sox, his 3rd with the Orioles. Buchholz will be making his 11th career appearance against Baltimore. He's 5-3 with an ERA of 3.26. Our live coverage begins tomorrow at 12:30 with Red Sox first pitch. And Peter, big start tomorrow really for Clay Buchholz, trying to turn things around.
It is. I remember the other night we mentioned it wasn't a great start. He left. He was really upset with himself in the 7th inning. But in that game, he came out, I thought, in the first inning, throwing cutters very flat. And then for about 5 innings, his ball was running the way it used to run. Ball down and away from left-handed hitters. I thought his changeup had a little bite on it. He started to get his movement back, and then he sort of ran into a wall. I thought it was fairly positive. He was very upset with himself. And the next, said, well, you got to win. And it was it didn't feel like a win, and but I sensed in the last couple of days that he felt that he had taken something from it, and in his session in between starts that maybe he had found something, get the movement back, and so it's been a very frustrating start of the season for him, and he says the back is involved. You still wonder when you're coming off a serious back injury as he had, whether exactly what's in the back of his mind. And we've seen, I always talk about Josh Johnson and the rust and the struggles he's had for the Marlins, and I mean, he's one of the best pitchers in baseball. He's had a really rough time shaking off the effects of not winning since I think it's last April 19th.
First and third, 2 down. Matt Lindstrom into the game here for the Orioles.
Speaking as we were about Idaho.
Still don't know anybody from Idaho. 1-0 is on the ground, foul. 1 ball, 1 strike to Mike Aviles. Matt Lindstrom, 4th pitcher used by the Orioles. 11th appearance, not giving up a run in 10 2/3. 11 Ks to 2 walks, and opponents hitting 2-11 against Lindstrom. He comes in with Pedroia at third base, Gonzalez at first, and a foul right back here. Rene Lavoie ducking for cover and ended up underneath Peter's desk. There it is. This is the 3rd ball we've had up here in my 12 seasons that I've been here. Caught the first 2, Nomar Garciaparra and Luke Scott, I think, for the Orioles. But this one bounces around. We can't take credit for this one. This is just bounced around 6 times first. This is up the middle. Ranging is Andino. He'll go to first. Nice play. Wraps up the 8th inning. Red Sox stranded there. We are through 8. It's 8-2 Baltimore. Weekend day with an exciting game this season to create your own unique standing room only packs. See 2 great games for as little as $40. Get your tickets today at redsox.com/SRO packs. 8-2, the Orioles on top of the Red Sox, and a lot of frustration here at Fenway Park today. And Dino, a nice play to get Mike Aviles at first base, and frustrated by that, and a ball that he thought was going to find its way into center field. Red Sox have not enjoyed the homestand so far. Robert Andino made the play that ended last inning, and here he is leading off the 9th. He is 0 for 3. Not part of the 10-hit attack for the Orioles. Swing and a miss. Here's a guy we've not seen in the series yet, Kevin Gregg. Just got into it with David Ortiz a year ago here at Fenway Park.
He's still trying to find himself. Hasn't been an integral part of this bullpen success, the 1.72 ERA they took into this game. He's been a very good reliever in the past, but
yeah, I was going to say he's been one of their better relievers over the last few years. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Atchison working into his 3rd inning of relief.
He's a prime candidate for one of those contract for contract deals.
On the ground towards third, Punto on the run, gets it there in time as we check in with Jenny Dell.
Don, the authenticated 1912 Red Sox uniform worn by the team on April 20th for the 100th anniversary game have been autographed and are now being auctioned on RedSox.com to benefit the Red Sox Foundation. For your chance to own one of these historic uniforms, visit RedSox.com/throwback.
All right, Jenny, thanks very much. Part of a special day here at Fenway Park. 1 out in the 9th inning. Andy Chavez stands in. A bunt single back in the 3rd inning. Sliced foul down the left field line, out of play. Broken bat for Chavez. He'll get a new one from the bat boy. Well, both Mortensen and Atchison doing a great job in saving the bullpen really today, on a day when Aaron Cook goes 2 2/3. Atchison's got this, and he fires to first underhanded. 2 down. Seen some good defense turned in by Atchison as well. Kind of throwing his bat at it was Chavez, trying to find a way on. 2 down in the 9th inning for J.J. Hardy. In the air to right center. Bird will make his way over and puts it away. Atchison gives the Red Sox 3 shutout innings, but it's 8-2 Orioles. We head to the bottom of the 9th. And by New England Subaru dealers. It's been an overcast day here at Fenway Park, and the Red Sox trail 8-2 thanks to an early barrage by the Orioles. A run in the 2nd, 7 in the 3rd. Red Sox mustered 2 in the 7th inning. As we move along to the bottom of the 9th, the Orioles will use their 5th pitcher of the day, Kevin Gregg, right-hander, in his 6th appearance. You see the numbers, unlike just about anybody else in that Orioles bullpen. He is 0-1, 7.94 earned run average, and 348 opponent batting average against him, more walks than strikeouts. So you're right, Peter. Based on the numbers, he is really trying to figure it out.
Yeah, I think that this is one of those, okay, they're not going to just eat the salary right away and just see if he can find himself. He's been a good reliever in the past. I mean, when people say, oh, the guy makes too much, well, they have to do something to end up with contracts that sometimes become overvalued.
Ryan Sweeney leading it off, doubled his last time up to knock in a run. As he takes strike one. On the ground right side, it's picked by Davis over his Gregg for out number one of the ninth inning. Well, for the best sports talk in the morning, there's no better tandem than Dennis and Callahan. It all begins weekdays at 6 a.m. right here on Nesson and on 93.7 FM. One out in the ninth. Cody Ross struck out in the second inning, grounded out in the fifth, and singled to drive in a run in the seventh inning. Fouled a pitch off his knee last night, and some question is whether or not he'd be able to go today in the starting lineup. Bobby Valentine waited a while and got the confirmation that Cody Ross is okay and in the lineup today. He's got a hit and an RBI. So he takes strike one. Well, last year, Gregg was closing games for the Orioles. He converted 22 of 29 save opportunities. June was his best month. He was 6 out of 7 in save opportunities. This is fouled off to the right, 1-2. Don't forget, coming up immediately after the game, but stay with us for WB Mason Red Sox Extra Innings Live. It's all the post-game coverage you'll need right here on Nesson.
Well, relief pitchers go so up and down. I just mentioned earlier, Fernando Rodney, 9 saves for Tampa. That's and throwing gas on the corners. I mean, it's have thousands of little kids in Tampa Bay with their hats on sideways. It's actually a very funny guy.
Formerly the Tigers and the Angels. Amazing to me how Tampa Bay changes their entire bullpen year to year, but yet seem to get great results year in and year out from their pen.
Well, one thing they do have. They have used the fewest starting pitchers over the last 4 years of any team in the American League. And that's, they have a pretty consistent starting rotation. They all make a lot of starts. They throw a lot of innings. Their goal, I remember when Andrew Friedman took over, he said the goal of this organization is to have 1,000 innings out of the starters every year.
Foul ground. Davis has got to play, and he makes it 2 down in the ninth inning. Yeah, it seems like that bullpen is never taxed in Tampa Bay because the starters, even in some bad outings, will get you deep into games. 12 strikeout.
They struggled a little bit here when the starters didn't pitch well, and the soft underbelly of the bullpen got exposed. The Red Sox had those 2 blowout wins, but otherwise they've been right in it.
12 strikeout performance for David Price. Last night, 2 down in the ninth. Here is Jared Saltalamacchia. And a foul off to the left out of play. Doubled his last time up.
And it's such a deep rotation. I mean, I was thinking this morning, like the third straight game that CC Sabathia pitched 8 innings. That's a great, one of the great free agent signings. Since he signed for the 2009 season, he's tied with Justin Verlander for the most wins in the American League. I mean, in the major leagues. I mean, where would the Yankees be with their disarray right now without CC Sabathia? And he'll just stand out there, take the innings, and save the staff, as well as win all those games.
Here's a pop-up, and this may do it. It will. Red Sox go in order in the 9th inning, and the Baltimore Orioles have come into Fenway Park and taken the first 2 games of this 3-game series. This has been a very tough homestand that's not getting any better, Peter.
No, they're really struggling. 8-19 at home since the end of August last year, and they've lost 9 out of 10 here this season. It's a lot to think about it, and if you're the Orioles, you just won 4 out of 5 at Yankee Stadium in Fenway Park.
And the Orioles are now 18-9 with the win. The Red Sox dropped to 11-15. Final score 8-2 for Peter Gammons and Jenny Dell. I'm Don Orsillo saying goodbye from Fenway Park. Join us again tomorrow afternoon for the final game of the series with the Orioles. Pitching matchup be Tommy Hunter and Clay Buchholz. Live coverage begins at 12:30. It's been a presentation of Nesson, New England's most watched sports network. It's time now for WB Mason's Extra Innings Live. Here's Tom Caron.